Hi everybody, welcome to Happy Llama's Crochet. I'm Patty. This week we are going to be working on part 2 of lesson 2. Last week in lesson 1, we learned how to do a single crochet. This week in lesson 2, part 1, we learned how to do a double crochet. So our project this week, we are going to be making a small washcloth using single crochet and double crochet. So you're going to get in a lot of practice with your 2 stitches. What you're going to need is a ball of cotton yarn, a skein of cotton yarn, and you're going to need a size hook. You're going to need a size H crochet hook and a pair of scissors. So let's turn the phone down so you can see my hands, and we're going to get started. This is very simple. First thing we're going to do, of course, is we're going to do a slip knot and insert our hook. So now we have our yarn onto our hook. And for this pattern, it calls for 25 chain stitches. So if you remember, a chain stitch is simply yarn over and pull through that loop onto your hook. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 24, and 25. Now we are going to skip. We're going to go back the opposite direction. So we are going to skip. We do not count the loop that's attached to the hook. We're going to skip our first stitch, and we are going to do a single crochet into our second stitch, and then into that very same stitch that we just did the single crochet, we are going to do a double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2. All right, and then we are going to skip the next stitch, which is this one right here, and we're going to do the same thing, the single crochet and double crochet into the stitch after the one we skipped. So single crochet, oh, can't hold on to my yarn today, single crochet, and into that very same stitch that we just made the single crochet, we're going to do another double. And this is our pattern. I got this too tight. I'm gonna take that off my hook and do it again. So I have my single crochet into that chain, and I'm going to do a double in there. This is a very simple pattern. I'm having trouble today for some reason. Maybe I should quit talking and pay attention to what I'm doing. Yarn over, pull through 2. There we go. Yarn over, pull through 2. All right, we're going to skip the next chain, single into the following chain, and double crochet again. You do this all the way down to the end. My stitches are tight today. I find that when I do things first thing in the morning, my stitches are tighter. I get more relaxed throughout the day. My hands work better. Okay, skip one chain, single into the next, followed by a double in the exact same chain. So you're putting 2 stitches into the chains that we are working. Okay, skip, then do a single, I think I mentioned in lesson 2, part 1, that I decided to divide these up, these videos, because the first one I did, it was about 45 minutes or so. It was pretty long. So this way you can learn the stitch, and then you can learn the project in part 2. Okay, skip that chain and do a single into the next one and a double into the same exact chain. Skip, do a single, and then a double into that same chain. And this is the whole pattern. We get down to the end, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to turn and go back the other direction. And you're going to end up making a total of 20 rows. And then after the 20 rows, we're going to finish off the edges. Okay. Skip that next chain. And double into the same chain. Okay, skip, then single, sorry, that's my dogs. There's someone walking out front. So, of course, they have to let them know that they are here. Skip. And single. And then double. Okay. Now that we're at the end, we're going to chain 2. We are going to turn, and we're going to go into that space that we just made, that last stitch, and we are going to start there, and we're going to go back the other direction. Every time you turn, you're going to go into the first space that we skipped in between where we made our single and our double. So if you see the space right here, that's where we're going to start. We've chained 2, so we're going to do a single, and we're going to do a double into that same space. Okay, now we're going to skip the stitch and we're going to go into the space that into this stitch that we skipped when we went through the first time. So we're going to do a single in there, and then we are going to do our double into that same space, and we're going to continue that all the way through to the end. All right. So skip the stitches so we may go into the space. We're skipping the stitches we made in the previous round. We're going to go into the space with a single, and then we are going to do our double crochet into that space. Okay, I'm going to work this all the way down, and I will meet you at the end of our second row. This is my last group, my single, and then my double. Well, it's my second to last. Then we're going to go, here's our 2 stitches, and we're going to go into this last area that we have right here next to our chain, and do a single and a double into the same spot. And we are going to chain 2. So there's my single, my double. Now I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2, turn, and we're going to go into this space right here before our I don't really want to call it a cluster, before our 2 stitches that we made, our last 2, our last single and our last double. So I don't want to call it a cluster because there is a cluster stitch. So we're just going to go back and start again into that space that is that is next to our chain. So we're going to go single, and then we're going to do the double in there. And we're going to skip to the next, skip our 2 stitches and go into the space after them. So we have another single and another double. Now if you're right-handed, you're simply going to be doing the opposite of me. It's like looking in a mirror. You're right-handed, of course your hook's going to be in your right hand, and you're going to be working on this particular row from right to left, and your yarn will be in your left hand. So I pull this out. So what I want you to do, we will block these and this will straighten out. What I'd like for you to do is to do a total of 20 rows, and I will show you what that looks like because I made one. Here is mine. I did this in blue. I think I'm going to have to show you how to do blocking. All right, so this is the the end. Here's where I started, down here. If you're right-handed, it would be this way, of course. But what we are going to do now is we are going to go through, and in each one of these spaces on the sides and on the bottom and the top and around, we're just going to crochet a single crochet all the way around and finish this part off, and then we're going to add our color. Okay, so I've done my 20 rows. This is where I ended up, and I'm going to rotate. Now I'm at a corner, so I'm going to chain 1 at each corner. So I'm at the corner and I'm going to chain 1. Now I'm going into this space right here. We did this when we made our bookmark in lesson 1. Need my glasses, that's why I can't see. Into each space, we're just going to do a single crochet. So we're going to go all the way down this side, and into each space, we're going to do a single crochet. Very simple. You all know how to do this by now. And this simply finishes off this edge. And then we're going to put, after we finish off our edges all the way around, then we are going to use a contrasting color for the border. Not everyone finishes off their edge before they add their border, but I like to. I think it makes it look nicer, it makes it look even. And then you have your singles that you're going to go here on the edge to work through, and it makes it simpler to me. I think it not only looks nice, but it makes it simpler. Okay, so I'm almost down to the corner. See, I'm going into each space along the side. Actually, this is the okay, I'm going to do in the corner right here, and so I do a single crochet, then I'm going to do a chain 1 to turn that corner. Now I'm going to go into each of these spaces along this edge. Okay, now I'm going to do this for each side, or all 4 sides, and I'm going to chain at each corner. So just follow along, keep going, and I will meet you around to the other side. Okay, I'm at my last space here. My final single crochet, and I am going to cut my thread. And I'm going to knot my end and make our loop so we can insert our hook. So I have my loop. Okay, I am going to start, not at a corner, but I'm going to start doing my border right in the middle, I think. So I'm just going to pick a stitch and I'm going to do a single crochet into that stitch on the edge. And I'm going to do a single crochet into each stitch all the way around the edges. And when I get to the corners for this, I am going to do my single, and then I am going to do 2 chains at the corner, I think. Okay, here I am at the corner. I'm going to do a single and a chain. I'm going to do 2 chains at the corner. So we go turn the corner, go into this next single crochet, and just keep doing a single crochet into each stitch all the way around. Okay, I'm coming up to my last corner, just right here. And I'm going to single in the corner and do 2 chains. 1, 2. And then we're going to finish up to until we get back to the middle where we started. Now if you want, you can go around and do another row, which I think I'm going to do. Is I'm going to do another row. So I'll have my border a little bit wider. And if you really want to get adventurous on your next row for the border, you could do a double crochet all the way around. And then do 3 chains at each corner. But I think I'm going to stick with this one. See, this is going to need blocked, and I will show you how to do that. Excuse me. So I'm going to keep going, and I will see you when I get completely finished with this. And when you are all finished, you just simply make a knot at the end and weave in your ends. And that will be your little washcloth. I think it's the size of a face cloth. These face cloths, washcloths that are made with cotton, they can be put in the washer to be washed, which is really great about them. You could use it for a dishcloth if you want. But those you make out of 100% cotton. And then you can just throw them in the washer. Throw them in the dryer. They are going to shrink a little bit because they are cotton. See, this puts a nice border, puts a nice finish on it. Okay, here I am all the way around. And I'm going to do a single into that same space where I started, pull my yarn through. I'm going to clip it, take my loop, see my loop, run the end into there, through the middle of it, and then pull tight. And then I will weave into that end. So here we have our washcloth. We have our nice border. All I have to do now is I have to weave in my ends and we'll be finished. And I hope you've enjoyed our project. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you next week with lesson 3. Thanks. Have a great day.